Welcome back into Fond du Lac today on News Talk 1450 and 100.7 KFIZ. Joining us in studio now is Doug Schultz and Jack Heil. Good morning, guys. How's it going today?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Really appreciate you, both of you, stopping in. And we're hitting on the upcoming Amateur Radio Club here in Fond du Lac, your annual field day, right?
Correct.
That is correct.
And obviously, this has been going on for quite some time. We were just talking off air. This is going to be your 36th one, Doug?
Yep, that is correct.
So let's jump right in before we start talking about what this event is. What first got you interested in it?
Oh, I had been interested in amateur radio for a long, long time. And they offered a novice class at Goodrich High School in 1983, I think it was, 1982 or 83. And I took it, passed my novice exam, and got on the air.
Gotcha. And then for you, Jack, what first got you interested in it?
Well, I was interested in electronics. I was in high school at the time. That dates me a little bit now, 1957, I think, is when I got my first license. And I was interested in developing something in electronics and in the radio frequency, and so I would have to have a license in order to do that. So that was the impetus for me to get into ham radio.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Now, this upcoming field day, for someone that's new to the area or they don't know what this is, what will they see this weekend?
Essentially, it's a setup in the field, emergency communication setup in the field without grid power lines, runoff generators or solar or battery, and it runs for 24 hours from 1 o'clock Saturday till 1 o'clock Sunday. And they make some people make it a contest. We kind of just have fun with it. There'll be 30,000 hams on.
Wow.
In the United States and Canada for this event. So it's pretty popular.
Definitely sounds like it. Where do people need to stop by if they want to be a part of this?
Yeah, well, the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh at Fond du Lac. The parking lot on the north side of the campus, which is right across from the high school.
Okay.
So that's easy to find.
Yeah.
And we're not exactly out in the field. We avoid the chiggers and things by
mosquitoes.
Doing it in a parking lot.
Yeah.
And that's a very handy place for us to do it. But this is essentially emergency preparedness, and it's billed as a contest. Gets everybody going. Hopefully you don't need emergency communications, but, if there would be, a real disaster, then perhaps we would find the use for amateur radio to be able to communicate people and what the problems are and that type of thing. So it's of value to have people that are trained to be able to take electric generators and radios and put up antennas on the spot and be able to communicate over a long distance.
Definitely makes sense there. If you're someone in the public, is this something you can just kind of stop by the parking lot and you can see how it works?
We encourage that, actually. We would, for example, like to see more people involved with amateur radio. And we can explain some of the stranger things that we do. It's not just sitting at a radio. You want to talk a little bit about FT8?
Oh, digital?
Yeah.
Well, digital is an interesting mode. There's a bunch of digital modes that have come out over the last, probably 10, 15 years. And FT8 is one of them. It's the most popular, probably. But, it uses the sound card of a computer, a laptop computer, and hooked to a radio with kind of a connection in between them, and you can adjust it, and you can transmit all over the world on low power.
Gotcha.
And by low power, he means, like 5 watts.
Right, yeah. Not like low power when you're just talking about, that radio station's a low power.
Yeah,
100,000 watts for WGN in Chicago.
With not too good of antennas. You saw what we had for that demonstration at the meeting the other night.
Yeah.
We just had a portable antenna outside the Moraine Park, and we were able to talk to Cuba on it.
Really?
Yeah.
You're able to branch out that far. That's really cool.
Yeah.
As you guys look ahead to this weekend, it starts at 1 o'clock on Saturday, and then it's going to end at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Will you guys be awake that entire time? Will you guys be hanging out there? How does that work for you guys?
It's a 24-hour event. If you want to operate, you can operate the full 24. Most of us can't do it anymore, but
And we have a club of, what, about 30?
I'd say close to 40 members.
40
probably,
members.
Yeah.
And so they'll be taking turns operating.
Yeah. Some people like
this.
to do the night shift. Other people like to do the day shift.
If people want to come by, I would recommend Saturday afternoons being probably the best. We'd be happy to have them come by. I personally would be happy to escort them around, show them what we've done and how we do it.
Yeah, we'll have single sideband, and we'll be doing digital. I don't know what other things we'll be doing, but that's what we'll be doing anyway.
Awesome. Should be exciting this weekend in Fond du Lac, part of the Amateur Radio Club in Fond du Lac, their annual field day. Now, you mentioned, right, this coincides with amateur radio clubs throughout the entire North America. I guess you mentioned Canada.
And Canada.
Probably the world as well, or is it just...
No, it's just North America.
Okay. Gotcha.
Pretty much.
Sounds good. And then how long has this been happening in Fond du Lac, if you guys know?
Oh, I know. I've been doing it since 1986. I have no clue before that.
I think I was doing it in the mid '70s.
Okay, so
with Chuck and some of them. So, the ARRL has sponsored. This is a National Amateur Radio Relay League, and they've been sponsoring this for...
Well, I think since the 30s.
Yeah.
I think the 1930s. Probably 1930s, I would guess, anyway. Probably during the war years, they didn't do it because everybody's license got held up. They couldn't transmit during a war.
Gotcha. Definitely makes sense there. Guys, really appreciate the time this morning giving us the insights. Is there anything else you think the audience might need to know that we haven't hit on yet?
No, other than if you do come, we'll probably have a soda or a water so you don't fry in the hot sun on
It might be a little
Saturday.
warm, I think.
Hopefully the forecast will be great for you guys. Let's stay away from any of that wet stuff, too.
Yeah, well, let's hope so.
Appreciate it.
Awesome. I hope you guys have a great event. We'll chat in the future. This is News Talk 1450 and 100.7 KFIZ.